The Warriors just lost 104-101 to the Lakers in game 4 and now trail this series 3-1. And they lost because of Lonnie Walker. Not LeBron James, not Anthony Davis. Lonnie Walker killed him. This was the Lonnie Walker game. And who did he kill specifically? Stephen Curry in the fourth quarter. 15 points. And why was Curry guarding Lonnie Walker? Because Steve Kerr left him on Walker way too long. This is Steve Kerr's fault. This is Steve Kerr's loss. Steve Kerr is an all-time great coach who froze in the fourth quarter of this game and just watched as his worst defender on the court got cooked by Lonnie Walker. Now the whole world knows who Lonnie Walker Jr. is because of Steve Kerr. It took him until way deep in the fourth quarter to get anyone other than Steph Curry on Lonnie Walker Jr. It was too late, 15 points. I mean, the Warriors didn't play great offense. Steph Curry had a triple-double, didn't shoot well, but they played really good defense. They didn't foul a lot. The Lakers didn't win this game at the free throw line. Other than how they played offense, the Warriors did everything they wanted to do on defense in this game except for defend Lonnie Walker. They did a good job on Anthony Davis, who completely disappeared in the second half. They did a good job on LeBron James, who was 10 of 25. I mean, Anthony Davis took 4 shots in the second half. He doesn't want to work hard. LeBron James can't shoot, kind of washed. Austin Reeves, he was pretty good. In fact, he destroyed Klay Thompson. We'll talk about him in a second, but this was the Lonnie Walker game, and that's on Steve Kerr. Hall of Fame coach with a Hall of Fame team can't let Lonnie Walker steal playoff games from them in the fourth quarter with 15 points in a quarter. Lonnie Walker the fourth, not the first, not the second, not the third, the fourth. Steve, if you don't know who he is, now you do. As I mentioned earlier, Steph Curry, triple-double, 31 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds, 3 steals. He was great in a lot of ways. Great passing. Had some great charges that he took. 3 of 14 from 3. A lot of those threes were wide open. Had the ball at the end, one-on-one against Anthony Davis, couldn't do anything. Couldn't drive the hoop. Couldn't get a shot off. Had two opportunities. So, yeah, I mean, he had a triple-double, but he got cooked in the fourth quarter. He shouldn't have been in that matchup. And he had an opportunity to do something at the end of the game and couldn't do it. Kind of was reminiscent of the end of the 2016 finals when it was him one-on-one against Kevin Love. Noted great defender Kevin Love, and Stephen Curry couldn't do anything. This is the greatest offensive player of all time, in my opinion. And that was quite interesting. 12 of 30, 3 of 14, very un-Curry. Speaking of Clay, 3 of 11, 9 points in 41 minutes. And he was primarily guarding Austin Reeves, who had 21 points in 34 minutes. I mean, Klay Thompson was awful in this game. The defense was good. And I want to start. Steve Kerr was smart. He started Gary Payton the second, and that worked out. All of a sudden, D'Angelo Russell was not a factor in this game. He was 1 of 10. That was all Gary Payton. Good job, Steve Kerr. Where was Gary Payton in the fourth quarter? He could have done a good job on Lonnie Walker. Is Gary Payton sick? I know he threw up in his mouth in the first half and just walked off the court. How many players on the Warriors are legitimately sick right now? Kevon Looney, Gary Payton II, might not be their year because, I don't know, Jordan Poole should say he's sick. He needs an excuse. This guy is the worst player in the series. He is unplayable. I wouldn't fault Steve Kerr if he sat him for the rest of the series. Jordan Poole was 0 for 4. 0 points in 10 minutes. He had a few rebounds, a couple assists. Just an awful player. Two turnovers. Can't play him. You could play Anthony Lamb instead of him. You could play Jonathan Kuminga instead of him. Didn't play Jonathan Kuminga, though. Played Moses Moody. He was fine. Kevon Looney needs to play more. Is he sick? Dante DiVincenzo, randomly good off the bench. But Klay Thompson, just awful. Draymond Green played great defense. What else is new? He also had 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Andrew Wiggins took his customary 14 shots in 40 minutes and, had a nice little 17 and 4 stat line, and you kind of notice him sometimes. But he played good defense. Really, I mean, it was an ugly game. I wouldn't bank on Steph Curry going 3 of 14 from 3 again. This series isn't over, but they're in a really, 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 really bad spot because Steve Kerr couldn't get the right matchup with Lonnie Walker IV. I mean, do I blame Curry for getting cooked? It's a bad look, but Steve Kerr's been hiding Curry from those situations forever. Why would you not put Moses Moody on him or Klay Thompson or Andrew Wiggins or whoever? Because, again, Anthony Davis was gassed at halftime. He didn't want the ball in the second half. And LeBron James is kind of washed. He doesn't really trust his shot. His shot isn't very good. He can't beat anyone off the dribble. He needs like a million screens. He tries to back you down. He can't even really do much against Curry. So the only way the Warriors are going to lose this game is if someone unexpected took over in the fourth quarter, and that happened. And if they lose the series, they only have themselves to blame. They can't blame the refs for the free throws. No, this was a fair and square game. You were winning. You freaking let no one significant, a bench player who was playing garbage time minutes in game 2, you let him come on the court and potentially end your dynasty. Now, I don't want to get too dramatic here because the series isn't over. And LeBron James was down 3-1 to Steph Curry, came back. Maybe this is Steph Curry's opportunity to exercise the demons and get that monkey off his back, the blowing of a 3-1 series lead. Maybe this is his opportunity to come back because they're going to go back to San Francisco down 3-1. And again, call me conspiracy theorist if you want. I think this series is at least going 6. So I think you're going to see the Warriors get some calls, make more shots. Steph's not going 3 of 14 from 3 from home. Klay's not going to play that awful from home. Doesn't mean the Warriors will win, but I think they will win game 5. They're not just going to crawl up in the fetal position and cry because they're down 3-1. I mean, this is a championship team that still thinks it can win. So they'll probably win game 5 and then go back to LA, and then we'll see what they got. How many players are actually not sick on this team? Seems like the team is getting sicker as they go forward. And again, is Jordan Poole ever going to do anything? Is he in the witness protection program? Is that really Jordan Poole on this team, or is it his brother? Did he get punched in the face and walk off the team? And do they have Jordan Smool? Porton Jewel? Who is this man, this masked man? He's making $40 million a year starting next year. What an embarrassment. I mean, don't you wish you had Lonnie Walker IV, Steve Kerr, instead of Jordan Poole? Wow. That was one of the better games I've seen in the playoffs in a long time. I love playoff series when they get this deep in the refs actually, you don't notice them that much anymore. Steve Kerr, not his best game. I mean, he made a great adjustment to start putting Gary Payton in the starting lineup, and it worked because all of a sudden on offense, he was essentially playing center. He was the pick setter. He was the roll man. He was the dunker. And he's so much quicker than Kevon Looney and JaMychal Green that the Warriors were getting dunks. I mean, really, where would the Warriors have been in this game if they didn't have Gary Payton's 15 points on 7 of 9 from the field? And really, if you think about it, they shouldn't have had those 15 points from Gary Payton. I mean, they're uncustomary. And so they gave it all back to Lonnie Walker in the fourth quarter. I guess they got what they deserved. And it's funny, right? It was Steve Kerr both times. Steve Kerr's brilliant pregame adjustment to put Gary Payton in the starting lineup, and then Steve Kerr's he froze in the fourth quarter and watched as Steph Curry got burned again and again and again. So Steve Kerr giveth, Steve Kerr taketh away. I would love to know why Gary Payton didn't play it all in the second. It got pulled very quickly in the fourth quarter. I know they went on a run, but as soon as Lonnie Walker started hitting shots, put Gary Payton in the game. Lonnie Walker's not going to hit shots over Gary Payton. I don't know. I'm not Steve Kerr. I'm no Hall of Fame basketball coach, but that would have been an adjustment I would have made. Gary Payton. Anyway, see what happened. He did throw up in his mouth on the court, so maybe there's an explanation. I've never seen a guy just throw up, walk off. Dude, hurl on the court and stay in the game. Come on.